Hi guys, it's Rob back again, and today is episode 7 of F1 2014 gameplay. So this is the longest race I've done so far. It's a 25% race driving as Bottas around the Circuit of Americas, starting in 10th. And let's hope we can get off to a really good start. So into the first corner, we've already gained 3 positions. So it's good to see there, and now through this fast section, we're so quick there. And already, so we've halved our grid position already. So that's a good start from us. With 14 laps, we'll be pitting on lap 8. Just to let you know, guys, we are on the slower tyre, so we're going to be going a bit longer than the AI, but this should help us out a bit, because we'll be faster at the end. Say if we're in second and we come out of the pits 3 seconds behind the leader, for example, we have got the faster tyre to attack, and they'll be on the slower tyre. So now, on the longest straight on the circuit, approaching 200 miles an hour. Oh, look at that, we make a dive bomb on Daniel Ricciardo for P4. So now we're right on the back of Hulkenberg for a podium. Can we make a move down the inside? We do. It's quite aggressive, but we've managed to stick one down him. And now we've just got 2 Mercs to dispatch before we can sail off into the lead, we hope. So now, can we get a good exit off here? It's not too bad. Hamilton's going through the final corner now. So the Mercs aren't exactly out of sight just yet, but I'm sure they might be in a lap or so's time. I want to go down into standard because we were plus 2 laps on fuel. We're now plus 1, so we're going to dip it down into standard. Looks like Hamilton went a bit wide there on the mini-map going into the first corner. Don't really know what he was doing there. So we're just over a second behind Rosberg by the looks of things. We've got a nice gap over Hulkenberg, which means we haven't really got anyone who's attacking us. We've just got people to attack. Look, we're 1.2 behind Rosberg. We're 1.9 ahead of Hulkenberg. Just to let you know, guys, I have done the setup myself, so it is a bit different, but it looks like at the moment it's working. We are going a bit fast and a bit slow into corners, but it's not really mattering too much. If we can get a bit closer to Rosberg, we might be able to make an absolute dive bomb down at, let's try that again. We might be able to make a dive bomb on Rosberg going into the corner coming up. We should have the pace. He's going defensive, Rosberg. Rosberg's now behind us. We're into second place as we complete the middle sector on the second lap, squirming like an absolute treat round that corner. We're now 1.5 behind the race leader, which is, for now, it is Lewis Hamilton. Let's see how long he will be race leader for. If we can keep up this pace, I wouldn't have thought it'd be for too much longer. So we've gained 8 places in just under 2 laps. So that's really good to see there. In about a lap and a half, let's say, we've gained 8 places. So make a good job of this corner. A bit better than last time in my opinion, but Rosberg is still right behind us. So now, round the final corner, let's try and get a good exit. It's not a bad one. We'll go up into rich mix. DRS has now enabled us. We do a 1:48.8 with 2.2 seconds behind Lewis Hamilton, and with 7 tenths, almost 8 ahead of Rosberg, and that's Ricciardo in P4, who we are 2.8 seconds ahead of. And that was actually the fastest lap of the race. So 1:48.8 is the fastest lap of the race from ourselves. And now it's all about catching the leader, Hamilton. Maybe if we don't overtake him before the pit stops, let's maybe try and get within maybe 2 seconds of him, as we're 2 tenths purple on our previous best first sector time on here, lap 3. So maybe we can start to catch up a bit to Hamilton. I can't see him because it's a massive hill. There he is. We're certainly getting closer. We haven't really been squirming on this lap, have we? So let's step up into Rich. And look at that. If we were to pit now, we'd reach on 17th to 19th. We haven't got DRS yet. Well, we have, but we're not within a second, so we haven't got it. into this corner. As long as we don't squirm out, we could be quite close. We do squirm out a bit, but only a bit. We're not purple, we're just on a normal lap through the middle sector. We're 1.4 behind Hamilton, but we're now 2.4 ahead of Rosberg after the lap we've had so far. Look, Hamilton's only there. If we get maybe close to about another 2 tenths, we could make a dive come down into turn 1 if we're fast enough. Let's see what we can do into this corner. Very wide indeed. All the hard work that we've put in has now been lost. But I think we're on for another fastest lap of the race. And Hamilton hasn't really got away that much, in my opinion. It's a 1:48.6, 2 tenths faster. And we're now 1.6 behind. Confirmation there at the top of your screen. Fastest lap of the race again. So now, maybe with these fastest lap, we can start to use the pace to our advantage and catch up with Lewis Hamilton. Obviously, it will not be easy, but we'll try and make it as easy as possible. We're 1/10 purple through the first sector, so we've had a really good first sector. Maybe cutting corners slightly here through this middle sector, but the game doesn't give us a penalty. With rules and flags unrealistic, maybe they should have done, but they didn't. So now let's carry on. We're getting ever closer now to Hamilton. We're a lot closer on this lap than what we were on the previous lap. And now we're going straight up into Rich Mix. If we can maybe get a 10th or so closer, we might be able to make a dive bomb. We still haven't got DRS, so we're not within a 10th. I don't think we're close enough to make a dive bomb. We're not close enough to make a dive bomb. A bit of squirming out, but we're still right behind Lewis Hamilton. We've done our fastest first sector out, and now our fastest middle sector. We're about 3 tenths up on this lap. We're 3 tenths purple on this lap, over the whole lap. Hamilton's only there. We are edging away from Rosberg. The gap's 4 seconds to him. Sorry, not 4 seconds, 3.3 seconds. The gap between Hamilton and Rosberg's 4 seconds. Right, I need to take this corner a bit better than what we did on the previous lap. It's not too bad. Hamilton should be pitting, maybe lap 7 at the latest. Because I would have thought he'd be on the medium tyre. The primes, we did a 1:48.6, 3 laps in a row with 3 fastest laps in a row, 1.2 behind. We're down 2.7 ahead of Rosberg, 1.2 back to Ricciardo from Rosberg. And now if the gap could stay like it is now between ourselves and Hamilton, we could make a dive from at the end of the long straight. Maybe get a bit closer, we could have DRS on him. But I think in this S section we're losing quite a bit of time, but not too much. We're still going purple, but not by a lot, as you can see in the top right of your screen. 22/100ths of a second up at our previous best first sector time. We're getting ever closer now to Lewis Hamilton. We're a lot faster on the brakes. Let's see if we can use that to our advantage. Can we? A bit. Let's get a really good exit. It's not a bad one. Straight up into Rich Mix. Do we get DRS? We don't get DRS. Are we close enough to make a dive bomb? I don't think so. But we're so close enough to absolutely pile. Bit more pressure on Lewis Hamilton. A bit of a back stopper on there. 7 tenths now the gap. We're miles now ahead of Nico Rosberg, with 4.3 seconds ahead of Rosberg, to be absolutely precise. And now look at this. This is the closest we've been to Lewis Hamilton in the whole race so far. We've been behind him since midway through lap 2, and now that hard work that we put in has just been lost. We've taken too much of an inside line going into those couple of corners there. Right, Hamilton should be pitting on the next lap, lap 6 or lap 7. He's only there. We get a decent exit. Do we get DRS? No, we don't. And we... Come on. We're not that far behind now, guys. We'd rejoined second with a pit stop, which means there must be some people pitting on this lap. Must be. Because we rejoined second now with a pit stop, which means there are some people pitting on this lap. Because remember, we're not pitting until the end of lap 8. So if we could maybe get a good couple of laps in after Hamilton pits, if we don't get past him, and then after, and now we are, enough talking guys, we're starting to lose out a bit now on Hamilton. He's starting to pull away ever so slightly. This time on the last lap, he was about half a second behind, but now we're about 2 seconds behind him. Try to take the best line possible on the brake in here. Not the worst, not the best. Rich fix straight away. We're still on plus 1 lap of fuel. Do we get DRS? Nah, I didn't think so. We carry on then, through this. Getting so close to Hamilton. We've been as close as about 6/10 to him, but no closer. We're almost a second down on our previous best first middle sector, I should say. We go a bit wide. We lose about 2 or 3 tenths there to Hamilton. That could matter absolute bigly there. About 50 miles an hour through that corner like an absolute snail. If we can get a bit closer to Hamilton here, that would be good. We are within 2 seconds, so if he was to pit now, we could do the fastest lap of the race on this lap, which I doubt we will. I don't think he will be pitting, but that's a nice exit. Hamilton does pit. Right, we're staying out for lap 7, so we've got 2 more laps to absolute give it everything we've got. I'm going to go rich mix, I think, for pretty much the whole lap. So we take the lead. Top left of your screen, that might be the one and only time you see that in the race. Or at least we hope not, actually. We probably need to be almost at the end of the S section by the time Hamilton comes out. He's coming out in a minute by the looks of it. We've got this lap and another to do before we pit. And now, the first sector, it's a bit better than the previous lap. Our lead's 3.1 over Rosberg, but that's not really matter. We are fighting with Lewis Hamilton for the race victory. As after this lap, we will be at half race distance. 7 laps down, 7 to go after this one. So we're not that far off now. We just keep hitting our apexes nicely. We should be okay. We've rejoined 6th right now if we have to pit. Let's just quickly see where Hamilton is. Hamilton's in 5th, okay. So not too bad. So let's see what we can do. Go down into lean now. Oh, we go wide. That's not going to help our cause whatsoever. It's not been the best this laps. I might come in on this lap actually just to undercut Lewis Hamilton. Yeah, I'm gonna come in, guys, on this lap. So we're going, guys. I'm coming into the pits now for a set of option tyres. So we're in the pits now. We'll probably get overtaken by Hamilton, but hopefully we are a bit... We're going straight through the pits! What? Oh, no, we're not. Oh, luckily enough, I thought we'd go on past, but now we're a bit further down the pit lane, so that's good. 3.7 seconds, not too bad on this game. Not the worst, but not the best. Where is Hamilton? Hamilton's gone. Hamilton's in turn 1 now. We are on the faster tyre, so we've now got advantage. So now let's see if we can use this. It'll probably take this lap to get the tyres up to proper temperature. We're a bit but obviously until the end of this lap we won't know how much time we've lost or gained on Hamilton. It's 2.9 at the moment, so we've only lost a couple of tenths. That's not too bad. And now we've got the other, so 7 laps down, 7 to go. And now can we catch Hamilton? Down into this section. Let's see what we can do. Not the worst exit, not the best either though. Rosberg's a bit closer to us, but I don't think that will mean anything. As now we're getting towards the end of the straight. 198 miles an hour as we hit the brakes. We go a bit wide, and look, 2.9 seconds has turned into 1.5 seconds, so we're just about half the gap in the middle sector alone on that lap. On this lap so far, I should say, in the middle sector on this lap, we're just about half the gap. So we was 2.9 behind Hamilton when we came out of the pits. and now we're only about 1.3 behind him. So looks like now the faster tyres and the setup is starting to come to our advantage now. Look how close now we are to Lewis Hamilton. Let's go straight up into Rich. We get DRS. That could help us now, an absolute treat. Hamilton's going defensive, so he should be, but we're going to try and go down the inside. Can we get the move done? It's going to be risky, but we've managed to get the move done on Lewis Hamilton. And now we have the lead. We definitely have the pace. And our tyres were probably still warming up as well as we made that move. But Hamilton is right behind us. We're plus 1 lap on fuel. And we're 6 tenths ahead of Hamilton. So if now we could just stick to maybe lap times around the 148s. Maybe if all our lap times could be, I'm gonna say 149.2s and less, with our fastest being a 148.6. But if all our lap times from now to the end of the race could be 149.2s or less, we should win it quite comfortably with the pace we have. I don't think even Hamilton here will get DRS. Let's go down into lean for a moment. I'm going to turn as much as I can just to make sure that we've got enough. And now we turn into this next corner. Getting a bit caught up on the curb, but we've got a gap now of 1.5 seconds over Lewis Hamilton. And now, with 5 laps to go after this one, so just over 5 laps to go, if we can keep up this pace, it should be quite a comfortable victory. In all honesty, I don't think we really deserve it, but we have had the pace so far in this race. And look at that, a 147.3 just to cap it all off. So now I'm going to say 148.5 and better for all lap times from now to the end of the race. We have definitely got this in the bag. Look at that, just on that lap alone, we're onto the marbles. Just on that lap alone though, we pulled out a 3.1 second gap on Lewis Hamilton. But we're probably lost about just over or just under a second by going onto the marbles there from turn 1. We've still got marbles on the front tyres as well here. They should clear for, yeah, look, it's now down to 2.2. So we've lost 8 tenths. And it actually looks like less than 2.2 now. It looks like about 1.5 seconds, guys. Right, the marbles have cleared. Yeah, the marbles have cleared. I was just checking on the back, on the rears, I should say. Oh, we've got a really bad exit there. Hamilton is now probably going to be right behind us or right near us. It'll be a bit closer than what he was. 4.5 laps to go, and it's not over yet, without any doubt. Quite slow in this middle sector. We're not on the curb that time, and the gap's now back up to 2.8, so that's good news for us. And now we turn into this next corner. Very good exit there, and now let's see what we can do through these couple of corners here. Looks like the gap is staying at what it is. Looks like we're actually increasing the gap. Through this corner then. And we've just been told that Hamilton is on standard revs, which means just normal. He's just running at normal pace. So are we. And we've just done a 149.3 with the lead. We went up 0.5 seconds on that lap overall. And it could be like 6 seconds maybe at the end of this lap if we keep a neat and tidy lap. Again, it looked like Hamilton was off the track there. I don't know why, but he's a bit further behind by the looks of it as well. On the first lap, I really didn't think this setup was working, but now it's coming right back into us. Look at that first sector, 1.4 seconds purple. We're absolutely flying now. 4.1 seconds now over Hamilton. And overall now we're 8.8 seconds ahead of third place man Nico Rosberg. Not too much of a stopper on there, straight up into Rich Mix to get the best maximum amount of grip, I should say. And now carrying on. Back down into standard. We'll turn as much as we can into this corner. We do. The back end kicks out slightly. We're 2.1 seconds purple through the middle sector. Just the middle sector. We're on an absolute flyer at the moment. 5.4 ahead of Lewis Hamilton. I said the gap could be about 6 seconds at the end of the lap, and it looks like it will be if we keep this pace up through the final part of this lap. If we can get on lap 9, we've got a really good exit out of this corner. If it can happen again, we're on for a really good lap. Not too bad, about 92 miles an hour. We get 1 minute 14 now as we go under that little bridge. Turning in ever so slightly. Straight up into Rich. It's going to be a 1:47.4. How we didn't go faster than a 47.3, I don't know. 5.9 seconds, so just under 6 seconds actually. So not too bad. So I think this race victory is pretty much now in the bag. 3 laps to go here on the Circuit of Americas. Bit slow guys through there. Doesn't really matter. Our gap's probably just over 6 seconds now, which is good. .1 seconds the gap over Hamilton. It's looking really good then so far. Unless we have any problems, I can't really see us losing it from here. Or unless we have a spin, unless we do something really bad or whatever, like spin out, gear up or whatever for some random reason or whatever, then we probably will lose the race. But if we just keep to what we're doing now, it's ours for the taking. I'm actually just going to put brakes now onto onto the marbles. Not going to help, shouldn't change things as I go through a corner. Marble should clear off there in a couple of corners. It's already off the front left by the looks of it, and the front right. Should be though in a minute. No, it's not. Very soft through there. So 2 laps to go then of the 25% race around the Circuit of Americas for the American Grand Prix. Quite wide into there, but it hasn't made a difference. The gap has gone down a bit. It's now down to 5.5. It's not really going to make a difference. That is how you take the S's round the Circuit of Americas. And look at that. Almost 4/10 purple in the first sector as well. That's how you take that corner. That's how you take that corner. That's how you take that corner. Bit of squirming, but apart from that, that's how you take that corner. Straight up into Rich to get a bit more acceleration. Let's see how fast we can go this time. 199, I think I just saw that number there. We're 1.1 seconds purple through the middle sector and still absolutely flying on this lap. If we could, and now look at that, the gap's now up to 7.4 over Hamilton. We're taking these corners quite well as well. Let's just take these corners how they're supposed to be. Well, we've got good exits out of here on lap 9 and probably the only lap. Come on. Yes, best exit so far of the race. We're coming around the final corner, which is probably going to be by far the fastest lap. 1:46.3, great lap there. We're now on the final lap of the race, lap 14 of 14. So let's just calm it down. We've got an 8.5 second lead, so we don't need to take any risks, like our engineer said on the previous lap. Apart from that bit of the centre S's, it's all looking good. Not quite faster though. Doesn't really matter. We've got the fastest lap of the race. And we're going to win the race as well, so it doesn't really make a difference. I'm happy with our fastest lap of the race. First place. starting from just inside the top 10, starting in P10, winning the race from there. It took me a lap and a half to get up to second, and somebody has retired. We'll check out who that is at the end of the race, which of course is the end of this lap. We've only got half a straight. As we reach 197 miles an hour on that straight, the last time we'll be going full pelt through down that straight. We're quite far off in this lap. It doesn't really matter though, because we've got a big lead. Our lead is 9.5 seconds, so maybe we could get it up to 10 seconds by the end of the race. And there's a very slow moving back marker ahead. Look, as you can see on the minimap, there's someone right in front of us. They pulled off to the side. It's a Manor by the, well, not a Manor, it's not F1 2050 man. It's a Marussia. Doesn't matter though, because we're now coming round the final corner for the win of round the Circuit of America, because we won the US Grand Prix as Valterri Bottas. Fastest lap, first place, 9 places gained, and a very deserved win. And it was 8.4 in the end. We won the race. I know it went down a bit on that side, but that's all that matters. Chilton and Sutil were our retirees. So there'll be a few more F1 2014 gameplay episodes to come when I finish my FIFA 16 Chelsea Career Mode Season 1, which will probably finish on probably Monday. And then there'll be 2 or 3 more F1 races, which will both be 25% races. The next one will probably be a 25% race, and then I'll probably do a finale, which is a 50% race, just to make it a bit more interesting for you guys, a longer race. But yeah, and then that's the F1 series will probably end then, because on February the 1st, I am starting a Derby County career mode on FIFA 16. But yeah, what a win it was, my longest race so far, and it ends up as a win, fastest lap, first place from 10th driving with Bottas in the Williams. The setup worked, the car in its whole worked, the setup worked. What a victory it was. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I certainly have. Leave a comment, like and subscribe as always, and I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye.